Today's story begins in Tokyo, Japan in October 2018. The perpetually modest and quiet 21-year-old Yuka Takaoka lived in the Shinjuku district. Shinjuku is not your typical Tokyo neighborhood. Known for its bustling clubs, karaoke bars, and upscale restaurants, all of this beauty is undeniably enveloped in a heap of skyscrapers. Yuka also led a rather unconventional life. It could be said that her life followed Western standards. She dropped out of university at the age of 19 to become the manager of a hostess bar in Shinjuku. Hostess bars are highly popular establishments in East Asia, particularly in the nightlife industry. They operate as follows. Their clients, mostly men, come to hire women for money. However, it's not what you might be thinking. The hostess bar employees mainly serve drinks, give compliments, and engage in pleasant conversations with the clients. On top of everything, Yuka was an anime enthusiast. She often shared photos of her cosplay of favorite characters on Twitter and Instagram. By the way, her accounts are still active, so if you're curious to take a look, the links will be in the description. Yuka was quite shy, the type of person who isn't very talkative at first, but gradually opens up with growing trust and strengthened relationships. Returning to anime, it's worth noting that one of Yuka's favorite cosplay genres was Yandere. The term Yandere refers to a mentally unstable anime character, typical girls whose abnormality is rarely evident in normal conditions. However, for the sake of their beloved, they are willing to go to extreme lengths. Have you figured out where this is heading? In October of the same year, during her shift at the same hostess bar, she met a 20-year-old man named Phoenix Rune. Phoenix also worked as a host in host bar nearby. It's worth noting that a host bar is essentially the same as a hostess bar, with one exception. They cater to female visitors. Phoenix was extremely popular in Shinjuku, both within the walls of his host bar and often featured on the establishment honor wall. Many girls who paid him for his company would return to the same place just to be with him. It's important to emphasize that this was all a very safe environment. Host and hostess bars have ample security and are officially under police protection. As you've gathered, Yuka and Phoenix work in the same industry, understanding each other not only as a man and woman, but also from a professional standpoint. Later on, they started coordinating their schedules to spend time together, both inside and outside of work. Soon, they became friends. Yuka's abnormal attraction to her love interest is evidenced by her personal diary and notebooks, pages filled with dedications to the guy. Naturally, after weeks and months of such encounters, the two grew closer, eventually starting to date. However, the relationship was now without its challenges. Although they managed to see each other when their schedules allowed, work created a certain tension between them. The thing is, despite both Yuka and Phoenix working in the same industry, Phoenix preferred earning money by flirting with ladies in his host bar. As you can imagine, this led to jealousy, and I would say jealousy is putting it mildly. With each passing month, Yuka became more attached to him, and as a result, jealousy escalated in a geometric progression. It got to the point where she would check what was happening on his phone, and even kept an eye on him. And if you think that's harmless, how about this? She would come to the bar where he worked and literally buy his services for an entire month in advance, paying over $9,000 every month, all just to keep any women away from her beloved Phoenix. A bit strange, don't you think? Let's fast forward a bit. May 23, 2018, several months had passed since they started dating. Things in their relationship were surprisingly good, and despite some misunderstandings, the couple was happy. Yuka continued to manage her hostess bar, and there were no issues with him either. The business was thriving. She took a couple of days off to tidy up her hotel room. On the same day, she called Phoenix and suggested he come over to help with a cosplay costume. And of course, he agreed. Phoenix arrived much later than she expected, because the shift at the bar was long. When he entered, he was visibly exhausted. Phoenix asked Yuka if he could take a bath to relax after work, and she agreed. He went in, filled the tub, lay down, and fell asleep. During this time, Yuka once again delved into her boyfriend's phone. That's when she found several photos of Phoenix with another girl. Yuka didn't know who this girl was, and she was certain it couldn't be a client, since as usual, she had bought Phoenix services for the entire month. This discovery infuriated Yuka, especially considering that she had noticed Phoenix being distant with her for the past couple of days. She connected these with the photos and took them as evidence of infidelity. So, if you suspect your partner of infidelity, it's a good idea to discuss it with them. Ask if everything is okay, right? Yes, but not for Yuka. When Phoenix woke up, he put on his underwear, went into the bedroom, and got into bed, trying not to wake Yuka, who seemed to be already asleep. Exhausted by recent events, he fell asleep in an instant. Some time passed when suddenly Phoenix felt a sharp discomfort in his abdomen. He opened his eyes, looked down, and saw a knife protruding from his abdominal cavity. Startled, he woke up in horror and looked around to see Yuka looming over him. Is this really a dream? Thought Phoenix. Fueled by pure adrenaline, he pushed her away, jumped out of bed, and ran out of the room. Yuka chased after Phoenix and grabbed him as soon as he crossed the threshold of the apartment. He was taller, he was stronger, and in the end, with another push, he freed himself from Yuka and sprinted towards the elevator. From this moment, Phoenix was losing a lot of blood. The elevator doors closed and it descended to the first floor. When the doors opened, Phoenix rushed forward. Almost to safety, he lost consciousness. Yuka caught up with Phoenix, finding him unconscious in the middle of the hotel lobby. Blood was spreading around his body. At that moment, a passerby noticed this horrifying scene, turned around, and immediately called the police. But Yuka didn't run away, she sat next to his body. People who witnessed all of this were too frightened to approach the couple, expecting that Yuka might do something. When the police arrived, they saw Yuka sitting next to Phoenix, covered from head to toe in his blood, casually smoking a cigarette and talking on the phone with a friend. During the time it took for the police to arrive, she managed to write a letter with his blood, repeatedly writing "I love you" again and again. When the Tokyo police understood the situation, they immediately arrested Yuka. Later, they would find the letter written with the same knife she used to stab Phoenix in that ill-fated hotel room. When the police officer asked her why she did it, Yuka replied, "I was very sad and I wanted to die. I thought that if I killed him, I could be with him. I thought expressions like 'I like you' and 'I want to be with you' would become a reality if we both died." Numerous witnesses observed as the police escorted Yuka into a patrol car, and when she got in, she was smiling. As for the victim, Phoenix ruined. By this point he was alive but hanging by a thread. When the police and medics arrived at the scene, he hadn't succumbed to his injuries yet. He was taken to the local hospital where he remained in critical condition with a survival chance of only 20%. On July 1st, just over a month after the incident, much to everyone's surprise, Phoenix was alive and recovering. He posted a message on Twitter addressing friends and fans. "Sorry, but I'm alive and back." He added, "My liver got nicked by the knife, so now I can drink." Having survived the harrowing experience, Phoenix agreed to give interviews. In those interviews, he didn't express any hatred towards Yuka. On the contrary, when asked about his attitude towards her, he stated that he harbored no ill will. He even pleaded with the judge to mitigate her punishment. On Thursday, December 5, 2019, the judge sentenced Yuka to 3.5 years in prison for attempted murder. An additional condition for reducing her time behind bars was the payment of 5 million yen to Phoenix, which is nearly $33,000. At her hearing, the judge stated, "If possible, I want people to continue leading normal lives and not pay for their sins." And the story doesn't end there. After the attempted murder and Yuka's imprisonment, she gained a whole community of fans. Most of them are enthusiasts of anime culture, where she evokes deep admiration. They call her real-life Yandere, and fans believe she shouldn't be condemned for what she did. Instead, it's better to send Yuka for rehabilitation. Yuka Takaoka is scheduled to be released from prison in May 2023. Share your thoughts about this later in the comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content like this in your feed. Thanks for watching.